So last video we left off of they were talking about what kind of whether he's a nice person or not. And I wanted to skip back a little bit to really catch more of the full interaction because he really got annoyed by that. And not only did he get annoyed by it, um, he wanted to be combative. He wanted to be, but he didn't. He took the high road. It was more of this image bullcrap that he has to sustain in order to make the company look good. But you can tell that, like, if he gets in the presence of his family, it's gonna be, he's gonna go off. That reporter was a total jerk, and he's gonna go off like that. But just in front of people, like, he can't. So he's holding his peace here.
No,
What happened?
I've always been a nice guy.
Maybe you were afraid to show it before. How's that?
Well,
The very snarky laugh.
what? I don't know. You've never met me
I
before,
never met
so
you before, but I know that other people who have had the opportunity to interview, and they said, "Oh, he hates doing interviews. He's not going to want to talk about anything." I said, "Well, whatever. Who knows?" And you're just like exactly the opposite of.
It just depends on what mood I'm in, really. Yeah, I'm kind of a moody person, and a lot of times when someone has had the chance to talk to me, I've probably been on tour, or I've probably gone through an exhausted time where I've talked about myself for hours and hours, and this week I haven't had to talk about myself very much, so
Lucky
probably
me.
more cooperative.
I think one of the interesting things about Nirvana that you don't really talk about that much is that you're very concerned about sexism. I like that. That's good. So, how do you make people aware of that problem?
By writing songs as blunt as Ray. Having to resort to doing something like that is almost embarrassing because people didn't understand when we wrote a song like about a girl or Polly, and having to explain that and having misunderstandings about it. I decided to write Remy in a way that was just so blunt and obvious that it's like no one could deny it, no one could read into it any other way, although some people have actually, because some of the lyrics in it, some people have thought that maybe it has something to do with my disgust with the media and the way they've treated us and stuff like that, but it's not true. That's not what the song's about at all. It's just my way of, in a sarcastic way almost, of like just saying how obvious do we have to be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sarcastic, yeah, but very direct. Nonsensical in that way. He's a humorous guy. He likes to make jokes and be humorous, but he deals with being on the same page. We have to all be on the same page. Common sense needs to be common, kind of deal.
I guess we don't talk about those kind of things that that are really important to us because I don't want to be thought of as like nothing more than a PC band. I mean, we're entertainers. That's what music is, and so it's really hard to step over the lines.
Just that you have so much power because that camera's on you. You can use it.
Yeah, well, we try to use our power. I mean, we've really have been effective in certain ways, like being associated with this organization called FAIR, and I can't remember right now because I have a mental block of exactly what it stands for, but it's something like I can't remember. but they're an organization who looks at the injustices that are they look at the details that surrounds certain issues and certain stories that have been reported in magazines and newspapers like USA Today, who tend to look over a lot of the facts, and they're pretty much a leftist organization that tries to protect people in certain areas, and they supposedly try as hard as they can to to deliver the truth. And so, we've done benefits like that for like No on 9 benefits to try to stop.
As I'm looking at him, and we've been talking about this, he's very not only disengaged with life, it's because of the stupidity of life. And the stupidity of life can annoy people like crazy. Like the stupidity of life can really just overwhelm people. It could be an overwhelming force that is so strong that people are like, just like, yo, I gotta get out of here. I just need to find a way of escape. And, yeah, because, people can just be so frustrating sometimes. Like, people can just be so frustrating that they just don't get it. And he's just so annoyed with the things that people do and say, and their their vanity. Sometimes people get overwhelmed by, the vanity that they see in others, and they're like, this is stupid. I'm sick of not being able to have a real conversation with somebody because they're vain. The first thing that they want to talk about to me is like, oh, you're a big rock star now. You're having fun going and getting all the girls, and trashing hotel rooms and riding in your nice cars and living in the most expensive places. And he's just like, no, like, what are you talking about? I'm a simple guy.
To try to stop Portland's anti-gay laws that they were trying to pass, and we did a Bosnian benefit and stuff like that. And it doesn't seem like much, but we raised like $50,000 for the Bosnian victims, and that's a lot more than we could have done griping about it and talking about it in interviews and like maybe putting out a fanzine. There's nothing wrong with doing stuff like that, but we're using the tools that we have, and we're being effective as much as we can. But we still don't want to be too political at the same time, because it's just kind of embarrassing to do that. Or, you get a lot of ridicule for it.
Yeah, but you're doing what you believe in. That's the most important thing.
Well, it's hard not to, I mean, if you're put in this position, what are you going to do? You become a Republican or something, just to protect what you've earned? Big deal.
We're doing it. Okay, I'm going to ask a couple more questions and then let you free.
I am rolling.
Okay,
Is it all right to smoke on Canadian television?
It's too late now. You're already out of control. You do what you want.
Only had
We're doing a
3.
special on the Replacements. And I was just wondering if they had at all any influence on you as a songwriter or on the music you make.
Kind of wish they did, because there's so many comparisons to us. I have to be honest, I really didn't like the Replacements one.
He's gone through like 3 cigarettes in 20 minutes.
I was into punk rock music. I listened to him, and I liked the sound of it, and I don't know if that. I think my appreciation for R.E.M., the Beatles, and stuff like that had more to do with it, because I really wasn't aware of Soul Asylum and the Replacements and those bands. I mean, I knew about them, and I actually saw them live and stuff, and I just didn't get it. I just didn't like it that much.
And can we have a comment, please, on I'll wait till you like this one, because this is such an. What is your comment on Muzak being or being here at the capital of Muzak, being here in Seattle?
Well, it's an obvious thing to happen, something that you'd expect. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Muzak this Muzak record that they put out of Grunge Light.
Oh, the Grunge Light. Oh, what do you think of that?
It's
that
great.
Girl.
Sure. It's an obvious thing to happen. It's the last chapter on the book of grunge. But the Muzak capital, that's where. So this is the place where most Muzak comes from. I didn't even know that. I thought there was just one station here.
Seattle is the capital of Muzak.
Thanks for letting me know about that.
You thought it was grunge? No. Oh, we were there, but they're not doing your songs.
Oh, bummer.
They said it was too aggressive? It would make people too excited.
Oh, well. We have some pretty songs too. God, that's really a bummer. That upsets me. But I don't know. Muzak, that's pretty neat.
But they didn't like the Grunge Light album because the woman sent a copy to them. And
really?
they didn't like it because it was too electronic, and they're into using real musicians.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't care. The interview is over. He's done. He doesn't care.
I like that idea better too. I liked it when Devo did their Muzak version of their songs. That was really neat. Did you ever hear that? That was nice. And I think they used real musicians for that.
Did you get to hang out with them, Devo?
Mm-mm.
I know that you're a bit of a fan of theirs.
No. Never met them.
Did you get to meet anyone who would be like your hero? Anyone that you're real pleased it got to meet.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of a positive side of being a rock and roll star. But no, actually, I met Iggy Pop before we were rock and roll stars, and Iggy Pop is pretty much the only person that I've met that I really, really admire and like. And
when you met him, were you pleased?
yeah, it was a big excitement. It was great. I didn't ask him for an autograph. I tried not to bother him the way that I thought that I might be bothered.
Yeah.
But,
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew he was about to, the snarkiness and the sarcasm. I knew it was coming. He's not just saying things just to be saying them. He's very intentional about what he's saying, and he's constantly making reference to you people are badgering me. And if I were to approach somebody who was famous, it's essentially he's saying, this is how I want to be treated. You guys are not treating me that way. And so with he's saying, yo, I met somebody who's a hero to me, who's famous to me, who I like, and I didn't go crazy and do weird things. So, hey, it's possible that you can meet me and not go crazy. Dropping these little nuggets out there for you, just waiting for you to pick them up.
no, and then the other person is William Burroughs. I met him, and I actually got to put out a record with him. So
Yeah, tell me about the record that you're doing with William Burroughs.
well, it's already out. It's just a 10-inch.
Inflection is back down.
It's just one story of his called The Priest They Called Him. And it was a long distance recording.
And his sentences are restricted now. Yeah. This is like down. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we already did the album.
It recorded his version, and then I just played a bunch of guitar noises in the background, and they mixed it somewhere else, and it came out. And now we're talking about putting out a whole album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of him reading his work and you playing guitar underneath?
Yeah, I think I'll play a bunch of instruments this time instead of just, off like I did before. It was just a last minute thing where I just made a bunch of noise, but this time I'd like to kind of work on it. Maybe I'll do a Muzak version.
Sure, William Burroughs would love that. Muzak. Let me just make sure I have all my questions asked. And this is one that Tori Amos, did you like the cover of
Well, it served a purpose because we used that as an opening. Before we came out, we'd play that song, and then we'd come out and dance to it, do a little bit of interpretive dancing to it. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
The last thing I want to ask you about is, I'm not sure who in your band said it. It could have been you, could have been someone else, but someone being a little perturbed by your mainstream audience and wanting to just make music for your real fans.
Well, a couple of years ago when we were making these bold negative statements about things like that, we were really confused, and we're scared. We're afraid that we would lose a lot of our audience that meant a lot to us because they're people that, we hopefully feel that we have a connection with, the college students and people in the underground. And I don't think we've lost them. I think they're still fans, so I'm not worried about it anymore. And I was at the time.
Man, my take on this guy so far is, man, he's a pretty cool guy, man. He's a pretty cool guy, man. I would have loved to shake his hand and just kind of ask, how you doing? How you feeling? And anything I can help you with, he's a pretty cool guy, man. Like if you really get to the depth of the guy, like cool guy, man. He's like, yo, I'm a regular guy, man. Like treat me like a normal guy. Really cool guy. I'm enjoying kind of breaking him down a little bit. So, probably do a little bit more analysis on him. I got some more interviews that I'm interested in seeing, but, yeah, man, it's the video. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments and interact with others, and please be respectful. You know what I mean? Like, look, we're just analyzing videos, man. We're not, just like not setting Olympic records here, just analyzing videos. So take it easy out there. But, until next time, see you in the next video. Take care.